Thank you for joining me for a quick video this morning. Do you think with your heart or your brain? The reason I'm asking is because it's August. For some people in the world, it's already August 2nd. For other of us, it's the first day or August 1st. And when you look at August, August is a month, astrologically, the sign is Leo. And Leo is all about the heart. And August is also energetically about flow. And flow has to do with coherence or resonance, balance, and homeostasis. And we know that a body that is in balance is a body that's in good health. So I'm asking, do you think with your heart or do you think with your brain? Are you heart-centered or are you brain-centered? When we look at the heart has a large electromagnetic field. It's actually 6 times larger than the electromagnetic field of the brain. The heart also processes emotions. So technically, everything comes into our heart first before it goes to the brain. The heart receives more information than the brain does. The heart has its own neuroreceptors, and the heart functions like its own mini brain. But do we use that to our best advantage? When we think with our brain, the brain has a pre-programmed response. It's either calm or it's fear. So if something comes into our brain, an emotion, where we're peaceful, where we're happy, where we're excited about something, those are the emotions and the state that the brain puts the body in. At that point, it's calm, and it's collected, and it's serene. But what happens when we process an emotion through our brain, such as fear, unhappiness? What happens then is the brain goes into fight or flight because the brain thinks automatically that we're in trouble, that we need to survive. The brain doesn't know that it's just emotions. The brain doesn't realize that. So the brain takes it as a real threat. So in our unhappiness, when our fear kicks in, the brain automatically sends out the stress hormones. And when that happens, we go into fight or flight. We're stressed out. We can't think rationally. We make a decision that's based on survival. And that's not always the best way to make a decision. It's good if something's chasing you or you're being held at gunpoint. Then you need that survival to kick in. But otherwise, you need to sit there and process emotions and see really what's going on. And that's where the heart comes in. When we take in any emotion through our heart and we sit with it and we process it, we give the brain time to relax and to make a decision. So what happens is, say you have fear. You read something in the newspaper, you listen to something, and there's a lot of fear. There's still a lot of fear out there. So it's not uncommon that you could feel fear when you listen to the news or you read something. So if your immediate reaction is the brain kicks in, right away you're in fight or flight. But if you process that emotion through your heart, what am I afraid of? Am I in imminent danger? If the answer is yes, I'm in imminent danger, then those stress hormones have to kick in, and yes, you are in survival mode, and yes, you are in fight or flight. But 99.99999% of the time, we're not in imminent danger. That imminent danger is perceived, and that perception is by the brain. So when we let these emotions in our heart and we start to process and we sit with it, our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm and the peace and the serenity, kicks in. The heart is connected to the nervous system via the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is all about calm and peace. So that's a reason to think with your heart. The other thing is, you've heard of coherence, and a lot of that has to do with heart math. And what it says is that when you're in coherence, your heart rate, your heartbeat, and your breathing is all synchronized. And what that does is it puts the body in a state of balance or homeostasis or flow. So you could see where this all fits together, where thinking with our heart leads to coherence, coherence leads to balance, which is flow. We've all probably experienced fast heart rates, irregular heart rates that the heart jumps, the heart skips a beat. And a lot of that could be due to anxiety and due to our emotions. So some of that does come from our fight or flight hormones being released. There are other things that I'm not going to go into that cause these abnormalities with the heart rate and the heartbeat. And that, anytime you have anything, it does need to be checked out by a medical practitioner. But what we're talking about today is the emotions. So when you can synchronize the heart rate, a lower heart rate, a calm heart rate, with the breathing, deep inhalations, deep exhalations that are relaxed, not rushed, not hurried, not anxious. And then our heart beat becomes more regular, because the heart does secrete a hormone. It's called the balance hormone, and I won't go into the technical name of it, and I won't go into more of what it does because it serves different functions, and that's beyond the scope of this. But what it does is it smooths out the electrical conduction system, the muscle of the heart. So when the heart has a smooth muscle, a smooth conduction system, it's less likely to experience irregular heartbeats. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now, because what we're talking about is our ability to think with our heart. And this is something for you to think about. Do you think from your heart? Do you process the emotions? Do you allow things to sit? Or do you think with your brain, which is fast, which comes up with a conclusion, often the way you've reacted before to things, and could, if the perception is fear or unhappiness, could lead you to experience the release of stress hormones, the unpleasantness of not feeling well because we are stressed. I'll leave you with that today, that the heart has a brain. Are you thinking with your heart, or are you thinking with your brain? I'm Teresa Palmer. I'm a nurse practitioner. My practice is cardiology, holistic cardiology, and I do view cardiology. The heart is more than a pump, so I view it from a holistic point of view. I can tell you that we've had a lot of different heart rates, of concerns about heart rates and about breathing. And a lot of that is due to the fact of stress. In addition to holistic cardiology, what I've also done is written a book called Empowered for Wellbeing. And in it, I give you the information and the tools to be able to not only think with your heart, but to live from your heart, to be calm, to do things rationally, to have a body in balance, to help build your immunity. And when we do all those things, what we're doing is we're building our good health. And when we're doing the very best that we can for our health, for our mind, and for our spirit, we have no reason then to be fearful of anything that's going on anywhere. So I'll leave you with that today, and I'll leave you with Namaste, which is I honor the light in you, which is the same light in me. We're all the same on the inside, it's only the outside that is different. And on this first or second day of August, depending on where you are in the world, think about this. Think about thinking and living from your heart instead of your brain. Thank you.